When I was, here we are.
Here we are. Live. All right. Vanessa, take the show.
What's up, y'all? We obviously had technical difficulties for a while, and that's why it is not 8:30 when you saw our faces. Typical every MFing week, we have to have some sort of drama in getting this done. However,
I'm going to say this though. This is why I tell people to subscribe to our channel. So that way, when it finally does hit live, it notifies people that we're there. So this is why you're supposed to subscribe to us. Okay. So now that my life is over.
I love that. And people should definitely do that, because also the more people that subscribe, we can finally get
our own
custom URL so that you can find us a hell of a lot easier than scoping out our link trees or whatever the frig.
So clearly, super stressful.
Well, speaking of stress relief, let's talk about what we're drinking.
Okay, so what I'm drinking, so for those of you who don't know us, I was a bartender for a really long time. I used to run shows as well for 7 years. We ran local shows, we did nationals too. But the first year that we were running shows, my business partner and I came up with a drink at this bar called the Underpass. It's now Blue 42, by the way. Awesome bar. But
he never went there
because it is deadly as fuck. It is. He used to use raspberry Stoli, but we have decided that you can switch it out for any fruity vodka, and you don't have to use expensive vodka because there's a lot of crap in it. So any fruity vodka, then you're going to put, so it's 2 shots of that, 1 shot of Malibu, and then equal parts cranberry juice and pineapple juice over ice. If you want to make it as a martini, you put it in a shaker, do the same exact thing, and then you can actually add an ingredient if you want and put I would usually use a melon flavor. So then you get it a weird color if you do it that way too, but it's delicious. Anyway, so this is what I'm drinking right now. I'm only having one because it's called the Evil Girl for a reason. I'll be fucking dead if I have one. That sounds delicious.
Yeah, it sounds fun. I'm a little bummed that it got retired before I came around.
It did retire because Kate and I gained 20 pounds the first year that we were throwing shows. And we were looking at ourselves and why are our faces so bloated? Oh, because you drink 8 of these a night and you're gaining a pound a show, and we were running 3 shows. So yeah, there you have it.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So what are you drinking? A Scarlett O'Hara again?
I'm drinking a Scarlett O'Hara. Yes. It is Southern Comfort, which is my jam, and a little bit of lime and some cranberry juice cocktail.
Yeah.
And it's freaking delicious.
It sounds delicious. What are you drinking, Colleen?
I don't know how to pronounce the drink I'm drinking. I'll just hold it up. It's some sort of...
I cannot pronounce that either.
Hard cider. It's passion fruit flavored.
Oh, that looks
good. It's really very good.
Yeah, it's super delicious.
I normally don't like these kind of things really, but this is really good.
And I got it at Total Wine, so it might be something that Total Wine in Jersey has too.
I would imagine so if it's a cider, and everybody's gluten friendly, gluten-free friendly in this area too. So yeah,
super good.
Okay. So there's a lot going on right now in the world. We are going to not stir the pot right now. We are going to try to laugh a little bit first because
we're going to let the heat gradually build.
So yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit going on. We'll touch base on that in a little while. But so last week we, for 2 seconds, discussed how we both watched Sweet Magnolia on Netflix. Did you binge that in 1 day? Because I did.
Yeah, it took me a couple days, mostly because I was doing work trainings and stuff, and I felt like if I put it on, I was gonna not do them. So I would only watch a couple of episodes a night. But yeah, I went through it way quick.
So there's 10 books that go with that, by the way, from what I've seen.
I heard.
I'm going to now have to read all of them.
Yeah, exactly. I was unpacking books the other day and I found my Sookie Stackhouse books and I was like, I do not have the whole collection of these. I must get the rest.
Okay, so so you and I used to watch True Blood together every week. We used to have like True Blood viewing parties at my old house when I lived in Elmwood Park. It would be like ridiculous every week. And we were coming from the Boulevard, so we were like half in the bag watching True Blood and yelling at the TV because they fucked it up so bad the last couple seasons. Yeah. Not sure about you, but I stopped at a point with the books. Like I did. I feel like I on like the 10th book, I somehow fell by the wayside. I don't know what happened. I don't really know. So
I read that shit, and that's why I think I was so extra pissed at the end. Not that I can remember how the books ended because I can't remember
that's
shit.
What I was saying. I don't know the books ended.
I remember like bits and pieces, like as we were watching the show, being like, "That's not what happened." Like,
oh my God. So many things that like didn't happen, like that they should have put it. First of all, they introduced the fucking fairies like in what, the 3rd season?
Yeah, that
happens in like the 8th or 9th book. It would like didn't even fucking make sense. Like it made no goddamn sense whatsoever. They annihilated that. But I mean, just to see Eric Northman and Bill Compton every week was a treat for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was worth it. And that's why I kept watching. Like I was like, yeah, or Jason Stackhouse.
I was just gonna say you're a Jason Stackhouse person.
Oh yeah, we know this.
Also, when you're invested in something, you know, even if you're like not liking how it's going, it's hard to tear yourself away after that long. So.
Like I read these damn books. I watched all the other ones. I'm gonna finish this out.
Yeah.
I think what happened was the show finished before the books were done publishing, and I was so fucking angry. I was just like, you know what? Fuck you. Like, I was so mad that they took so many liberties with it that I was like, screw you. What happened? But it's like Game of Thrones. Like, listen, with Game of Thrones, I hated the way the last season was a disaster. There was no way I wasn't going to watch it. I mean, like but I mean, the last 3 episodes, it was like watching a train derail. Like you can't turn your eyes away from it. Like you have to watch it. Like especially we're super fans, but it was like a nightmare. It was a fucking nightmare. And it's like
it was awful. I mean, I get why. Like I kept like telling myself every week, like, it's not their fucking fault. They were like told they had to rush all of this, and they tried to cram a bunch of shit into whatever they told them to do.
Yeah, but it wasn't their fault.
I feel like I would rather have had them leave out things and make the things that they had like really good than to try to cram everything.
So we had discussed this, like they had focused on like the whole Missandei and Grey Worm thing. There were like episodes dedicated, like 20-minute fucking scenes with them.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck are you doing that when you can't even properly explain why Khaleesi has lost her mind and become the Mad Queen? Do you know what I'm saying? Like that was the most piss poor explanation of her going mad that I've ever seen in my whole life. Like that was terrible. Like I know that they were given George R. R. Martin was the one who decided how that was going to end, like who lived, who died, but they're the ones who had to map it out, and they just did a fucking terrible job. Like there was no. I'm still going to read the books though, because I know he's going to properly explain why this happens.
Right. Hopefully.
If he doesn't die before, and I hate to see that. Everybody says that. Like that's not a nice thing to say. I don't want him to die, obviously, but like I wish he would speed it up a little. Like stop doing side projects.
What else are you doing with your life? What else are you doing? Like write the book. Finish.
Well, I've seen him at like Jets games, and I'm like, get the fuck home and get on here. How can you do anything but write the Game of Thrones novel?
Legit. So speaking of like TV movie entertainment, Colleen and I did the what was it? To all the boys I've loved before.
Oh my god, I love it. I didn't watch it. The last one didn't come out yet, right? There's only 2 that are out.
Yep, there's only 2.
Yeah. Okay, so it's adorable. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, we watched them back to back last night.
Yeah, so cute. It really is so good. I just watched another one that was based on a book too on Netflix. Oh my gosh. I'm so bad. There's an Indian chick as the main character.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's a series. Is it a series?
It's a series. It's based on a book
Yeah.
that I've heard, and it's like 10 episodes. It's so freaking funny. Like it's
It
like
looks really funny. But
silly.
I saw the preview.
I don't know. Like I feel like the chick, like that's the main character, that would have been like me in high school, just like a complete fucking nerd, like doesn't know how to talk to people.
Yeah. It looks funny.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I'm just giggling.
I'll find the name and just show you.
Yeah, I was gonna Google the name, but I can't do two things at once. We know that, so I'm having a hard time smoking, drinking, and talking at the same time. So,
oh my gosh. Well, yeah. So, and you're watching. There's something else that I think I didn't put on my list, but I have to remember.
You have to put it on your list. Okay, right now I'm watching New Girl.
Right.
I started watching. I do love Zoe Deschanel. I love her sister as well. Her sister is Emily Deschanel. She was the main character of Bones. So Zoe Deschanel, I think, is so super gorgeous. She's so pretty and she's so funny. This show, like, you need to watch it because you're gonna see why I say this. She's like me, but she's a teacher. She's like, but she's a fucking me. She's like a drunk. She's awkward. She doesn't know how to talk to people, so she just makes weird jokes that like you wouldn't understand, like unless you know her, you don't understand. It's hysterical. Max Greenfield from Veronica Mars is in it, who I absolutely love. He's in a show now called The Neighborhood. So when I finish this, now I have to go find The Neighborhood because it reminds. So honestly, what it reminds were like current. Like Friends is a show that they say is timeless, but to be honest with you, it's not. There's a lot of things that are sexist and that are like there's no diversity in the show. They like the represent.
I don't think anything's timeless, honestly, because as we progress and as things change, it's like
you're absolutely right. I don't think they did
everything's
wrong. I'm not saying right.
Except for Golden Girls. Yeah, Golden Girls has managed to last.
They
like
before
really
good.
Yeah.
Listen, Lance Favreau is my hero still. Although I joke around, I'm Sophia with my purse. Like definitely. I'm like buried at the bottom of my purse and I carry it everywhere. So
oh shit.
But anyway, yeah. So New Girl, like it reminds me like if Friends like were done now, how it would be done. The show has diversity. It represents like everybody. It's just it's like almost uncomfortable at certain points, but it's like that's what makes it funny and very real. That's what I really like about it. You know what I mean? And she's just a complete fucking nerd, and she's hot, but she doesn't really like know that she's hot. You know what I mean? And they all treat her as if she's not because she's such a nerd. But then like the way other people see her is different. It's very funny.
Okay. And you said Jason Stackhouse is in it, right?
Just one episode. He was in one episode, and so was the one who plays his crazy girlfriend that was addicted to V. Remember?
Right.
Lizzie Kaplan.
I really thought he was in the whole thing, but it's okay.
No. And it was the same season. I think it was season 1. He was in the same season that Lizzie Kaplan was in. So I was like, what is this? Like a True Blood reunion that's happening right now? Like this season. There's a lot of Rob Reiner plays the Zoe Deschanel's father, which is fucking brilliant. Jamie Lee Curtis is her mother.
Nice.
The cast is golden. Everything. Damon Wayans Jr. is in it. He's only in the first episode of the first season, and then the third season he comes back as like a series regular. He is. I'm sorry, he's funnier than his fucking father.
Which is crazy because I think the Wayans family. I wish I could hang out with them because I think they're so ridiculously.
From what I've actually
funny, like.
From what I've heard, he's actually, I think, disassociated from his family. I'm not sure about that. I think I heard that a long time ago. I don't know if that's changed, but I don't think that he speaks to his family. But he's fucking either way, he is fucking hysterical. He plays a coach in this. So he's like a fitness complete maniac. Like yells at everybody all the time, and it's just hysterical. It's fucking hysterical. Max Greenberg, the guy that I'm in love with, he is literally like Ross Geller but hot. Like, he's a terrible person. He says all the wrong fucking things, but somehow there's something like endearing about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were like having a friends marathon the other day, and it was like the same thing. We were like, Ross, we really love Ross.
I love him. I do. Like, I hated him at first. Like, I remember like the first go around watching it, like I kind of hated him. Like, especially like when he cheated on Rachel, I was like, oh, like, and why couldn't you just submit that you did the wrong? Yeah, like, fuck you, you're on a break. Like, oh my God, the copy girl. Like, just submit when he, but listen, the scene when he fucking takes back his Frankie Says Relax shirt. Yeah. I literally
he puts it on like it
fits. And it's like a belly shirt on him. I still cackle out loud. Before we were broadcasting, as I was like attempting to clean up the mess of my bedroom, that is like a teenage girl's. No wonder why I'm not like, you know, don't have a boyfriend. There's unicorns behind me, 1,000 body lotions. The fuck, I mean, Game of Thrones posters. I'm a nightmare. Anyway, I had on Spotify and Tiny Dancer came on. And all I like, there will never be a time in life where I don't sing like "Hold Me Closer," Tony Danza. And when Phoebe's like, it makes so much more sense.
Like,
like, I laugh every time I hear the stupid song, and it's like, I mean, how old is that? It's what is your favorite episode of Friends, guys? Because everybody's got a favorite episode. Everybody has.
Oh, that's so hard. Oh yeah, of course I have to think, because first of all, I'm a Libra and I can't ever make a decision because I'm terrified that the decision I'll have to rescind it and be like, I was wrong.
There's no wrong answer. It's Friends.
Right, but I don't want to be like, I misrepresented my favorite Friends episode.
Okay. All right, yeah, it's serious. Friends is serious for us. It shows like we have determined we can equate almost everything in our life to like Mean Girls and Friends. So it is an important decision.
Exactly.
My favorite, though, is when they play the game and they lose the apartment.
Transponster.
That's not even a word.
Yeah, I love that one too.
They like or whatever it is. They're like
when they slide in on the fucking Greyhounds. I can't.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's my favorite episode. There's literally, I don't think, any funnier episode than that. Oh, by the way, so New Girl definitely reminds me of Friends in another way. They have a Thanksgiving episode every season.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, I feel like my favorite one probably is a Thanksgiving one. Probably.
Was it like the one with Brad Pitt was ridiculously fucking funny.
It was really funny.
It was so uncomfortable. Like, it was so like him muttering things about Rachel the whole time. Like every Thanksgiving, I like once I got like a Chromecast on YouTube, they have all of the Thanksgiving episodes that you can play like in sequence. So as I was cooking, I would have like the Chromecast on in the kitchen playing the Thanksgiving episodes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a habit for a while every Thanksgiving to do that.
That's cool. It's like a tradition.
It was a tradition. This year my birthday was Thanksgiving and everything was all screwy. I was like newly single. We know. I was newly single. I was having a nervous breakdown. This year, like, it was like, go to my friends, drink wine, and numb yourself for Thanksgiving.
This is so hard. Do you know, like, I'm trying to flip through the Rolodex and I'm like, is it Nestle Told House? Is it like one of the ones with Phoebe, like, is it one of the ones when they go to fucking Paris? Is it one of the ones, like, which is it?
I know there's a lot. I love one of my favorite scenes is when they all like know that she's not singing Smelly Cat and there's like the backup singers and they're all like smelly, 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 smelly. And she's like, oh my God, I sound so good. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's like one of my favorite scenes, as is the when Ross and Rachel have sex and she sits on the juice box and she's like, oh, that's okay. And like, that was
yes, because they're in the museum. Yeah, there's like so much. Like, when the baby comes and the baby won't stop crying unless she sings "Baby Got Back." I mean, come on.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Like the later seasons aren't my favorite, so I tend to like discredit certain but there are so many funny episodes. I hated everything with Emily though. Like I literally hated everything with Emily.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Emily.
Which is weird because I love Rachel. Yeah. I fucking hated Emily. Hated her.
Yeah, I was not a fan.
I like when they were trying to hide, like that Chandler and Monica were together.
Yeah.
And then everybody else kind of found out, but they didn't tell Ross. And they were just like, ah! And he's just like, yay! He's just going along with it. Just
so they give Ross like Valium, I guess at the time is what it would have been, like sedatives, and because he had like the nervous breakdown at work over the sandwich.
Yeah.
Out, like he's telling his boss how much better he is, and then sees them from across the park. What are you doing to my sister?
Yeah. See, there's so many. Like that's why I was like, I cannot do this quickly. This is
I
just project.
And also when he's like, I'm fine. I feel like that's everybody.
Right. Yeah.
And anytime anybody says, I'm fine. Like you are the opposite of fine. You are like one step away from like Bergen Regional Hospital.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't live in New Jersey, that's the fucking nut house. Okay. That is the nut house. You're like one step away from a straitjacket, my friends.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
A movie that Vanessa and I watched the other day on Netflix was The Wrong Missy. David Spade's in it. It's a new like Adam Sandler production.
I saw it on the
That movie wasn't just funny. That we were like crying like constant nonstop through at least half the movie. Like the whole movie was funny, but like the first half was like piss your pants.
It was
super funny.
Hysterical. Like we were not ready. We're like, okay. I'm like, of course, making fun of David Spade because he looks weird.
Yeah.
Like
David Spade is so fucking funny, dude. I love him. His stand-up, like I'll never forget, like years when he was on Saturday Night Live, he was talking about like his kid on his stand-up. And he was talking about how like kids can just do anything and get away with it. And his kid would like run into the room naked while they were entertaining. And he'd be like, it's naked time. Yeah. And like the way like he did it was just so brilliant. He's so funny. I love him.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I know what I'm watching tonight.
Yeah, you have to.
Listen, I need to laugh, guys. I need to laugh.
Yeah.
That's why I'm watching New Girl. I need to laugh.
Yeah. Everybody needs to laugh right now, and and it's not like a disrespect thing, but it's more like a survival thing.
No, it's a mental. Okay, so I would like to see this during we're going to put the other issue aside for right now. We're going through a pandemic. Why has there not been a bigger deal made of Mental Health Awareness Month this month? We have one day left.
A shit, Paige. I'm a therapist. Nobody ever gives a shit about mental health.
No, there were years where, like, I remember in previous years, like, people really did give a shit, and we're talking.
They said they gave a shit, but it never changed. The access never changed. It never like.
Well, and you would know.
People like to talk. Yeah. They like to talk and like, ooh, yay, let's rally for the cause, but then they don't actually do anything. Like it is still when this pandemic started, the fighting. Like our center went on TV and we're like, South Carolina is not allowing telehealth. Like you have to let them, because they weren't doing it. They didn't think it was important that when people were in quarantine, they could still get therapy. And it was like, you got to be kidding me. This is
I was crazier than I think I have ever been in my entire life. And I'm a fucking bag of nuts if you know me, okay? Like, I was the craziest I've ever been the first few weeks. I was losing my shit. And, like, as one of the type of people, too, like, that, like, I've worked in bars for so many years that I stopped going to them as much. But there was still, like, once a week I would, like, force myself, like, I'm going out, I'm going to do something. Like, you know, like for my, like, you know, be around people, stop being a fucking like homebody, whatever. Lost my fucking marbles. This is the time where we need to be aware of our mental health.
Yep. But it's still a freaking
I don't understand.
My fear is that as things open up, they're gonna pull telehealth, and people are still not going to come out. You know, especially the people who need the most help are not going to want to come out, and it's just not going to be good. It's not good right now, and I just feel like people don't care about it like maybe we think they do.
So we've talked about this before, and I actually talked about it with a male friend of mine last week after we taped the show. I promised I wouldn't say names, but I'm always so proud of men when they admit that they have like an issue, whether it be depression or anxiety, or like they don't want to leave their house, or like whatever it may be. I'm always really proud when a man admits that. And I always say what you said that one time to me, that like you never have to tell anybody if you're going to therapy. Like if you're a man, you don't have to fucking announce to your friends, oh, I'm in therapy, guys. Or as a woman, or as anybody. You don't have to fucking tell anybody if you don't want to. Just go get the fucking help.
Right. Like it would be cool if you did, because we want to like erase the stigma, but the whole main is to make you okay. Like,
right. It's not about everything. Right. It's you first. And then when you're comfortable with your journey, if you feel like sharing it, share it. If you don't. Like I'm comfortable with saying my whole family's fucking crazy. I mean, I come from a long line of fucking crazy people, and I'm comfortable with saying that. 20 years ago, I would never tell people that. I was like embarrassed. Like I would be like, you know, like apologizing about my mother. Now I'm like, I don't even speak to her because she's bad for my mental health. She's so nuts, you know?
Right.
So
yeah, no, I think when anybody can really talk about it, but not just talking about it too, like talk about how they manage it and stuff like that. Like I really think
well, one of the things for me is like, I know when I'm in like a huge funk, like the first couple weeks of the pandemic, I was going down a fucking river on Netflix of British crime shows about people dying constantly. Then I'm going through like all the monarchs, everybody fucking gets beheaded and like, you know, like dying in childbirth. And I'm like, the fuck am I doing here? Like, this is not helping your sanity. Like, put funny shit on. So that's what I've been doing, is trying. That's one of my ways of coping, is watching things that are funny, because it's like, you know, it takes your mind off of what's going on for a while, and it's not ignoring what's going on. It's keeping your sanity.
Right. Speaking of funny, I feel like we've made it because we have trolls, and I'm so happy about that.
We have dude. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So what happened?
Are you looking at the chat? Oh, can you not see the chat?
Nope. What trolls are we getting?
Oh.
What are people saying?
You can't see the
No, I'm not a host. I'm a guest. So tell me what people are saying.
That's effing. I'm not going to read them out loud because they're that stupid, but let's see.
Do it. Let's talk about it.
Hold on.
I don't care. If it's about me, I don't care.
Oh no, hold on. I can't screen share because I don't want it to crash.
No, don't. You can just say it. I don't care.
I don't want to read these. They're dumb.
What is it?
To, like, smoke weed. I'm a never nude. Like, I don't know what these are, but I just feel like people, when they're trolling us, it means that like we've made it. People want to.
I don't even smoke
airtime.
Yeah. I'm just fucking ridiculous. Anyway.
Anyway.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh,
I love you guys.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Yeah, see, here we go. So we got like,
there we go. Smoke weed, you'll feel better. You know, so that's actually not a troll. That is a thing. I wish that I was one of the types of people that could smoke weed and feel better, but I get fucking anxiety attacks from smoking weed. So that really does not help me. But I am a never nude, just jean shorts. Okay. Does anybody want to look up my dress? Are we making jokes because I like do like partial nude modeling? I'm not ashamed of that at all. Oh, okay. No mean stuff. You said you wanted to laugh. Yes. You want to laugh. I was just wondering if you're trying to crack at me because like, you know, like, so full disclosure, I do like modeling part-time when it's not a pandemic, obviously. So yeah, there are pictures of my ass on Instagram. I'm not ashamed of it whatsoever.
Let's turn on the ceiling fan because we're sweaty.
Oh. Sorry if that makes you guys uncomfortable, but yes, my butt is on Instagram, so whatever.
No, it's funny. I mean, whoever's writing these, I'm not like angry. I just feel like, you know, there's no like conversation piece of it, so I was like, I just don't want to like just read stuff that we can't talk about.
That wasn't people trolling, I don't think.
But I mean, when I say trolling, I don't mean like some bot. I mean like somebody just wanting to say dumb shit, just to say dumb shit for the sake of saying dumb shit.
If anyone wants to like drop off edibles to my apartment, let me know.
Don't give anybody your fucking address. That asks for
We'll never see you again.
Yeah. I literally have enough weird people fucking talking. I don't need that shit. I don't need that in my life. Anywho,
yeah.
So we've talked about funny things. Are we ready to get serious?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm ready. I really thought it would be a good idea to just kind of like blow off steam in like a good way before getting into it. Just
the problem,
so we're in a better frame of mind.
I don't know about you guys. I'm not in a good frame of mind.
I'm better than I thought I'd be.
I'm not okay with what's happening right now. I'm not okay. So like I'm getting messages from friends, like I'm going to talk. Okay. So a good friend that I went to high school with sent me a message because he knows how I am and I will share my feelings. I'm a very big mouth liberal. I don't fucking care what you think of me. I really don't fucking care. And what's going on right now isn't about me. It's not about you guys. There's a fucking problem going on. Black people are being fucking murdered by our police. And
there's always been a problem going on. And this is the problem, is that I feel like right now people aren't understanding or remembering that this isn't new to anybody.
No, but now it's being filmed. Now it's in our fucking face. So now we can't ignore it. Or
people will still try. Like I feel like people are trying all different ways for this to be brought out into light. And it's like all it's doing is making people dodge it in different ways. Like I feel like it's throwing shit at a brick wall every time. And that's where I'm frustrated. But at the same time, I'm just like, well, all right, you know what? Two can play that game. There's got to be a better way. And all the people who want things to be good are going to find that better way.
So listen, I think that like educating people is the best thing that you could do. Like right now as white people, we need to fucking listen to what Black people are telling us, like what the problem is. We need to fucking listen and we need to pay attention and we need to take a stand and say, this is not fucking acceptable. This is not the world I want my children being raised in. I know that this is not a new thing, but we see it now. We're seeing it. It's right in front of us. You can't keep.
What are we doing? We've always seen it. We've always said it's horrible. We've always, the good people have always listened.
But like, listen, like I'm going to use this expression. The Karens of the world need to cut this fucking shit with like all lives matter. Fuck you, asshole. It's not about all lives. It's Black lives do fucking matter. Like, stop it. It's not like cut the shit. Cut it out. We know there are good police officers, but there's just as many bad ones that are targeting certain people and they're killing them.
Well, the problem is the generality. And I think it was what's that girl's name? Billie Eilish. She went on some sort of rant and I read half of it before I had to do something else, but it was mostly just like like an explanation that like all lives do matter, and that's not what this thing questions. This is not questioning that everybody else's life matters, but it's more like if there's a fire at my house, I don't want the police to stop at every other house or the fire people to stop at every other house before they come to mine. They need to come to mine because mine is the one on fire. And like, so that like explanation was like, well, that makes sense. Like, hopefully to people who aren't understanding, it's like, these are the people who need the Band-Aid. And so that's why we're focusing on it. If they didn't need the Band-Aid, we wouldn't. But that is why
I think people need to also understand why people are burning shit to the fucking ground. Okay? People are burning shit to the fucking ground because it's always corporations are fucking taking all the funding from like impoverished areas. Okay.
I have my denial letter that I just got right now for my small business relief.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I understand, like, out of frustration comes like things that you don't think, What happened? Are we getting trolled right now?
No.
Probably.
I was just reading the letter saying that I wasn't. It's saying that I was not substantially economically affected, so they're not giving me any money.
Like, go fuck yourself, Donald Trump. Thank you so much for your stimulus check that bailed out corporations instead of small businesses. Like, so it started with the burning down of Target this time. I never understood. Like, I remember watching, I was at Boulevard bartending when Ferguson was fucking burning to the ground. And I was thinking in my head, as like, out of ignorance, what is this accomplishing? Why are you you're hurting your own community? But then, like, now I know better, and I realize it's frustration. Like, it's how you get attention. I understand it now. Like, they're burning shit to the ground because that's what needs to fucking happen right now to get people to pay attention. Pay attention to what's fucking happening. People are dying.
So here's my take on it. My take on it is that I understand that that's the motivation, but again, the people who are paying attention are the people who want to use it as an excuse to call these people exactly what they think that they are. So the people like us who already know, who are already listening, who are already sensitive to it, we don't need you to burn this shit down because we're here.
We're here
listening before that. There are not. I have not seen one person. I have not seen one person in my Facebook timeline that said, "Oh, now I see what's going on. I can't believe they're so frustrated."
Well, I'm here to tell you, I used to not see. I used to not see. Now I fucking see. When you know better, you do better, and you think differently. I get why you're burning shit to the fucking ground. I feel like burning everything to the ground right now too. This is bullshit.
Right.
Everything that's happening right now is bullshit, and I want to burn things down too.
I feel like it's, and this was how I put it today. What needs to happen is not for the people to have to burn shit down. What needs to happen is for people like us who have our privilege, who are not oppressed. We actually have to take action so that they don't have to do that. Like, take real action, not say how horrible it is, not just say the words. Like, we have to do stuff. We haven't been doing stuff. We've just been saying, "Oh, I'm doing my part by not being racist."
Don't be you and I have for a long time because we're not racist people.
But we're not doing stuff on levels that matter.
Right. Well, okay. What I'm trying to say is, like, I mean, for years, like, I do not put up, like, you know how I am. Like, if you see some crazy shit in front of me, I am calling you out. I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm not going to keep my fucking mouth shut. And a lot of people don't like me for it. I don't fucking care. Like, do you have any idea when I was bartending how, because drunk people, let me tell you, when you're behind a bar, you hear all sorts of crazy shit, okay? Like, you literally hear some crazy fucking shit. People get drunk and their racist side comes out. Do you have any idea how many people I kicked out of the bar I worked at and that my boss was fully supportive of me doing so? Like, you want to talk like that, to get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not putting up with this. I'm not doing this. And that's what people need to, like, that's a small scale that you could start there. Stop fucking accepting the small racist comments, the small anti-women comments, the small anti-lesbian, anti-gay comments. Stop accepting that as our norm. Stop accepting.
I think it's more than that. I think it's like how I am as a therapist. I have to trick people. I cannot flat out say this is your problem and you need to work on it. I have to trick them into working on it because they're stubborn and they're right. And I don't know them as well as they do. And I get all of that speech. And this is what's happening because the people who are racist. They're super racist. They don't want to not be racist. They're not on the fence about race. They're fucking racist. And talking at them gives that, we just become another enemy. It's very, very,
I would rather be your enemy than, like, listen, I would rather be your enemy to your face. Like,
it's not actually changing the system. It doesn't change the system,
but I'm sorry, I can't shut up anymore. Like, I'm not capable.
You don't have to shut up. I'm not saying that everybody should shut up. I'm saying that
your approach is different than mine. Yeah, I get what you're doing. Your approach is different than mine. Like,
no, the problem is that you don't, like, if you have a bad tree, you don't cut off the limbs. You find the root and you kill the root. Right. We're cutting off limbs. where we think we are. We're trying to cut off limbs.
But
Because we think by yelling at somebody for being racist, they're going to think about it. No, they're not. They're just going to walk on and continue being racist and say that I'm a fucking asshole.
Right, we're the lunatics. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Well,
like we have to be trickier somehow. I don't know how. Like I feel like we need to create another fucking underground railroad of like people, community. I don't know what, but something.
I just can't, like, I can't anymore. Like, I can't stand, like, I mean, so I got a very heartbreaking message from Elliot that said, like, so my friend Elliot that I went to high school with, he's a truck driver, and he's like, what am I supposed to do when I'm driving through God's America in my truck and I get pulled over by the police? He's like, I'm scared for my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you're asking me? Like, I'm crying for you. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you to do. Like, our system needs to change. But, like, how do we change that? Like, I don't.
Exactly. And it's so big and it's so wide and it's so
great. Right. Well, I'll tell you, well, first of all, it doesn't help that we have a fucking madman in the White House. That is not helping. This motherfucker this morning, I don't care. Like, listen, people hate when I get political on my Instagram. I'm going there. I'm going there right now. I'm going to fucking read you what I wrote. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. Give a fuck. When I wake up and I see crazy shit, I am going to talk about it. Like, okay, so this is what the President of the United States of America tweeted this morning. The professionally managed so-called protesters at the White House had little to do with the memory of George Floyd. They were just there to cause trouble. The Secret Service, he added the Secret Service, like, go fuck yourself. Handle them easily. Suck my balls. Tonight, I understand, is MAGA night at the White House.
Yeah.
You just incited Nazis to go to the motherfucking White House.
Yeah.
Now I hope that they burn it to the ground with you and your whole fucking family inside of it, except for Barron because he's innocent and he's a child.
Thank God we're on camera so everybody can know we didn't do it.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I can't protest. I'm allergic. This is so fucking lame. I'm allergic to capsaicin. I can't go to protest because if I get pepper sprayed, I'll die.
Yeah.
For real. It's like literal. That's what's in pepper spray. Like you spray me with that and you're going to actually kill me. So I can't go and participate. I would love to. But that's what the fucking, person that is sitting in charge tweeted this morning.
Yeah,
so
diplomacy doesn't exist in his little Twitter fingers.
Wait, what happened? What'd you say?
I said diplomacy doesn't work. Twitter fingers, there's no diplomacy in his Twitter fingers. Like it like cannot happen physically, I believe.
What I don't understand is like, do you see how much I'm smoking? That I'm like so stressed out, guys. Like I'm so fucking stressed out, guys.
Like I said, I almost feel oddly calm, but it's like I almost feel like I'm about to join like a community hug gang. So I'm like, we're gonna fix this shit.
You see that I'm not yelling, so that's always like a good thing. I'm not yelling. I'm oddly like not screaming at people and throwing shit and acting angrily and like locking myself in my room. Which is typically how I deal with hard to handle situations. Which means I'm about to snap. Like I'm at the fine level.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. Clearly from my rant on Instagram this morning, not fine. So
well, when you really think about it, and like Colleen and I were talking about that before, like when you really think about what it is like to be a person who's part of a group that is like completely, like abused. I mean, it's totally abuse. Mm-hmm. What that's like. And as I'm talking right now, I'm remembering one of our neighbors down the street. I met him at the mailbox, like I was walking, I think. And he's a black guy. And he said hi, and I said hi, and like I kept walking. And he said to me, and I didn't remember this until right now, I thought you were trying to avoid me because you were afraid. And I kind of laughed it off. It honestly didn't dawn on me. I understand I'm a white woman and you feel that way, but I honestly, like, I didn't do that whole explanation. I was just kind of like, what would I be afraid of?
Right. You don't think that way.
Right. I was like, you look friendly. If you looked scary, white, black, any color, I'm done. Like, I'm out.
That's how it is for me. Like, as women, like, you know how it is. Like, you know when you should feel scared. It doesn't matter. I don't fucking care. White men scare me the most. To be perfectly fucking honest with you.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are gonna like slip shit in your drink. They're the ones that are like, get her another shot. Let's get her fucking wasted and black out.
Yeah, they're sneaky, which makes it like,
right.
Yeah, it's like slimy.
Yeah. So like, yeah, like, I mean, like, I'm only scared of people that I take as a threat. Color doesn't matter to me. Like, it's men. Men scare me sometimes. I don't really care what you are.
Oh my gosh, it's shocking as a woman in America that we are still intimidated by men.
So I remember like right before I deleted my Facebook, like I had to delete my Facebook because I was fighting with everybody all the fucking time. And my mental health was at a fucking decline. I was like, this is not helping because I know you people and I'm going to stab you next time I see you at the bar. I'm going to shank you.
Right? Like our friendship has just taken a very dark turn.
Shank your ass.
Yeah.
This one woman had said to me, like, I was talking about like women's rights and equality. And she said, I've never been discriminated against as a female and I've never been harassed as a female. So I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like,
so sad.
You're either really fucking dumb. Like she probably was fucking dumb on drugs and drunk all the time because every day as a woman, you feel some kind of way. Like you feel
this is the thing. It's programming. So we were programmed that if somebody catcalled us, it meant we were pretty. If somebody like was obsessive about us, it meant that they really cared about us. Like there's some programming that still exists in people that you look and you're like, you really don't see it. You really don't, and I believe you.
I remember when I was booking shows, like I would explain to people at the time when I was booking shows, like Kate and I were the only chicks in New Jersey, like when we first started, that were booking shows. It was male dominated that would like go rent out venues and that bars would trust to take over their whole Friday night. Like, which you think isn't a big deal, but it is. That's your income on a weekend night that you depend on, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know, like would get discriminated against like as women, and people are like, it's probably so much easier for you just to go in there with like being cute and you just get the venue. And it's like, no, motherfucker, we had to work extra hard to be able to get in there and do what we were doing. And it was a completely sexist thing. Like it was completely fucking sexist. Like, I'm glad that you particularly have never been discriminated against, like, you know, for a job, but like I have. I've also been at a job and been sexually harassed multiple fucking times. So lucky for you, you weren't, but welcome to life. Like,
right.
Most people have.
And again, like a lot of people, you know, once you start talking about it and you start telling them things, like they start to realize like, oh, that's not cool. You know, again, Friends episode about the tailor.
Yeah.
Where Joey learns that he has been sexually harassed.
One of my favorite, talk about favorite scenes. That's one of my favorite scenes. He's like, what? That's not how you do pants? And Chandler's like, in prison?
Yeah.
We just saw that. That was one of the ones that we watched. Move it to the other side. Right. So like, I picture that as what it's like for people when they actually understand. Right, oh, that's not cool what happened to me. Oh, I gotcha. You know, like they're learning that kind of stuff. And that, again, that's why it's great to talk about it. The more you talk about it, the more people are not going to put up with being harassed or, you know, kept down or abused in any way.
You know, like that's always my message. I mean, I think it maybe for like with me, it gets lost in translation because I come off as like an angry liberal feminist. I don't fucking care.
Yeah. Listen, I am just like a white man. I guess I'm sneaky. I learned a little something from him.
Flipping a little Mickey in someone's drink to make them realize how they're behaving.
Yeah, like we're gonna do some therapy without you even knowing.
You're gonna tell me before after a few drinks.
I did it the other night, and I didn't mean to do it. I was drinking. It was over the weekend, and Will's son was here, and he brought friends or whatever, and I was just sitting down here, And we were up until 3:00 in the morning. This kid was telling me everything. And I was just like, I didn't mean for this to happen, but it clearly needed to happen. So yay. Like, let it out, brother.
Like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, as you know, I have a lot of male friends. So like, they say like crazy shit in front of me. And I'm like, so there was a line. You just did cartwheels over it and landed in the split. Like, I like literally like, there's the fucking line, bro. Like,
you just did a whole ass dance routine across the line.
Right. Like, you did some cheerleading moves and landed it. Like, stick it. like you can't say that. Like, you can't say that out loud. You could think it in your head, but maybe don't say that out loud because it's creepy and it's terrible, and don't do that.
Right.
Like,
that's the thing. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like we really need to get super fucking covert on this operation, on all these operations.
Right. Like, all
people are just, it's like anything. Like, what do you teach a kid? You teach a kid that if they try something and it doesn't work, you have to try something else, right? But then they see us just kind of trying the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. We're being angry, and we should feel angry, but our actions
need to
keep going against the brick wall, because these people are so. It's almost like the more angry we get, the more they put up a wall.
Listen, I'm open to suggestions. Like, I'm totally fucking. This is like, I'm saying, like, I'm open to suggestions. Like, I'm pissed off when I'm reacting on that, which is typical of me. But not me.
Where I'm at, I just keep asking people. I'm like, what do you think we should do? Like, tell me, like, what will help you? You know, one of the people I know down here posted a really like amazing story about a guy who came to fix her like washer or dryer or something today. And he was Black. And she was like, I am 45 and a white woman in the South. I don't know shit about what his life is. I'm going to fucking ask him. I'm going to straight up ask him. And she was like, at first he thought I was asking about like his work, like what your, you know, how, what's your experience like? And she was like, when he realized that I was like, white asking how it's to be Black, he was like, well, okay, I'll tell you.
But she has to understand that nobody owes us an explanation.
It didn't matter. Like, he
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying though that we as white people have to start realizing that we're not owed a fucking explanation.
It's not an explanation. It's like me asking you how you feel about where you work.
Right.
Like, that's the thing. It's like, we're afraid to ask questions now. And that's further alienating.
To talk about it. We have to also stop being afraid to talk about it in general.
We need to talk about it to the people who it affects. Like, you and I talking about it, it's great, but we're not Black. We don't have that experience. So anyway, he went on to like talk about what it's like to do his job here. And he's like, I don't work after hours because if it's dark out, people are fucking afraid of me. He's like, people are afraid of me anyway when I show up in the daytime to fix their shit. He's well educated. He's licensed. Like, there's literally nothing. He's super nice. He's like, people just think bad things about me. And he's like, I was raised by my father that this is a white man's world and you just need to fly under the radar and like put your head down and take it, you know? And it was like really eye-opening to read that and just be like, this is what we need more of. Like,
right.
Again, we can say all we want to say, but we need to be their voices because nobody's listening to them.
Yeah, I'm willing to listen if they're willing to tell me. I feel like at this point, like, I don't know. I asked Elliot, like, how do I explain to Xander, who is now old enough, he can turn on the TV. He sees what's happening. Okay. Like, so like my kids, like, as you know, they were not raised, like they were raised to not see in color. They had gunkles. I'm bi. All my kids know it. Like, they weren't raised to see like prejudice against people. So like, how do you explain to Xander what the fuck is happening right now? Because he can't fathom it. Like, his little brain is like, the world has gone mad. I don't know.
Right. And but he can certainly understand probably on a kid level. Like, so you have a kid.
Yeah, so I'll never forget this. At his like 7th birthday party, his best friend, I'm not going to say names, obviously, his best friend was Black, and his best friend's father came from a long line of police officers. He was not a police officer. He was a football coach, but he was taught growing up as a Black man how to act. If you got pulled over by the police, how to act. And he explained to Xander that when his friend gets pulled over, he's going to have different circumstances than what Xander has, and that he has to act a certain way because his skin color is different. So like he was taught that a couple years ago, but like still, like I still don't even understand how to address this like in the right way because I'm so angry. Like I'm angry. Well, I just want to be like, they're stupid fucks, and like I don't, like
kids are so smart and they put things together much better than we do. Like you could give him an example of like, so think of a kid in class who you think is a freaking weirdo, or think of a kid in class who you think has a temper problem, and then understand, like, think of a time that they flipped out for no reason. Like some people are just not
right.
And that makes, a chain reaction or, something like that. Like, because it really is a basic concept, but we understand the complexities of it. But the concept is super basic, really. Like there are people out there who are fucking stupid and hate people for no reason. And those people who are hated are freaking out because they don't want to be treated like shit. Like simple, basic.
Right. Like, I mean,
the same way that you freak out if you're treated like shit.
Listen, like basic human decency has gone out the fucking window. Like and again, like we can't say we're surprised. We're just seeing it more because it's being filmed. We also have a racist ass motherfucker in the White House. Like think about it when George W. was in the White House and he was targeting Muslim people. And like the mentality was if you see somebody with their face covered, they're a fucking terrorist. That's what he was teaching people. And that's what people thought. And some people still think that way. Like it's like fucking crazy. Like that to me was crazy when it was happening. I was like, that's not fucking right. Like I knew that wasn't fucking right. Like this has always been happening. Yeah. We're seeing more of it now. But we know when you have different leaders in charge that handle things more gracefully, things tend to get a little bit better. They do.
Absolutely.
So like I'm gonna say
the leader has the ability to
influence. But this isn't a leader that we have right now. He's a dictator. He's literally a dictator. Like
he's like a child. Like he's just like if we put one of our kids in charge, like, hey, you run the country. Like they're just like, well, that's dumb. Like they don't know it's dumb, but they just feel like it's dumb.
I don't know about you, but I trust anyone in the country, but more than I trust fucking Trump. I trust my fucking ferrets to run the country better than more like, holy fuck, bro.
I mean, when he got elected, I was like, this sucks. This is not what I want. However, wanting him to fail means our whole country would suck.
I won. So that's cool.
Some miracle. Make this fine. Please make it okay. Please, God, make it okay.
Right. Here's my whole thing. Like, I wanted him to prove me wrong. Like, that's what I wanted the whole time. Like, prove me wrong. Please tell me I'm not a crazy person. Prove me wrong.
Like, or like be a fucking Hallmark movie, dude. This is your time. Turn it around.
Okay, wait. I want to. Oh, so this is really funny, Colleen. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
She's like, these two fucking lunatics.
Okay, because you are with me. I was like always in like the Hallmark shit. Like you know me. I love.
I'm so sweaty.
I love me some Bessie Metcalf. Like I love Chesapeake Shores.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember about 2 months ago, they aired a commercial where I think two women were kissing and a bunch of people, they stopped airing the commercial and they apologized for it. Mm-hmm. And so now they're clearly like they're homophobic. And so now I'm having like a really hard time with like supporting Hallmark right now. And I know that there are like openly gay people that do Hallmark movies. So I'm extra confused about their conflict because I don't even want to watch it. It's like when I found out that like Chick-fil-A was homophobic, I like don't want to eat your fucking chicken anymore, bro. We'll go to Popeyes. Thank you. Like I don't want your hate-filled sandwich.
You want something?
Yeah, sure. That surprised me.
No.
A wine.
I'm like,
If you have wine in there.
do you really want to be surprised?
No.
Are you trying to like, talk about what drink? Be surprised. Are you talking about drinks? Be surprised.
Yeah. She's like, no, because you don't want to be surprised with all the stuff she has.
Don't ever do that to me because you'll be like on the floor in 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You're like, but I'm not with a strawberry.
Worst bartender ever. Shot? Shot.
No, honestly, best bartender ever.
Right. I thought so. I mean, it's been years. I couldn't be that bad, right? Anyway, my point was, like, I know that you're not a homophobic person.
Yeah.
Bother you? Like, because it really bothered you.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Did, like, when Hallmark, like, pulled the commercial and was, like, apologizing, did that bother you?
I think it's ridiculous that they felt they needed to
Apologize.
Yeah, or like to first, I don't even know why they pulled it, to be honest. Like they shouldn't have pulled it. Like, why are you gonna listen to just a bunch of people?
Well,
like,
because they consider themselves a Christian network.
Yeah.
But I think
still,
that
so it had to go through so many hands. That commercial
right.
had to
Like,
go so many hands
so
to
many
get
people
onto
before
the
the
station
decision. Yeah.
to begin with. So, and like the fact that they, like
that was their ultimate
decision. It should have been like, well, we're leaving it. It is what it is.
So yeah, like, well, I don't know. Like it really bothered me. And now I was like, when I was talking to Vanessa there, I was like, tell Colleen, like Chesapeake Shores was renewed. And I'm like so stoked. And I know like Jesse Metcalf is like so like pro like basic human rights that I'm like, I wonder how he feels being on a homophobic network.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, that would really suck, honestly. Like, especially if you really love your job, you're like, motherfucker. And like why?
And like, there's so many actors that are just like only Lifetime. I mean, Hallmark actors.
Right.
So like, if they were to like, say I'm not working, then they're not working.
And they're done. Right.
Anywhere.
Pensions are done. Everything. Like because once you get like that, like you're labeled a troublemaker.
Well, okay, so this is the problem everywhere. Okay,
listen, I'm a troublemaker
everywhere.
Right.
People, once you mess with their livelihood, because we are such a money-hungry capitalist country, once you think your livelihood is going to be damaged, you keep your mouth shut. I don't care. I know it's wrong, but I also know that
you'll be
pay my bills.
Yeah.
So I've done things before where it's like, this is wrong and I'm not going to stay here or I'm not going to keep doing this. But right now I'm going to keep my mouth shut so I can pay my fucking bills because ain't nobody going to come here and pay my bills because I told the truth. Honestly.
Unfortunately.
That happens to cops. It happens to firemen. It happens in corporate. It happens fucking everywhere. People don't want to blow a whistle because the Whistleblower Act is a bunch of bullshit. It does not help you. If you get blackballed, you're done. You're done.
It's unfortunate because like I feel like I don't know, like I guess maybe that's why I did not succeed in corporate America and why I had to like have my own business. Like you want to when I had like my business and it was really successful, you want to like not shop with me because I am a liberal. By all means, get your fucking candle from Yankee. I don't give a fuck where you buy your candles. Don't buy it from me. My candles don't come filled with hate, so you can buy from somebody else. I don't give a fuck. When I was behind the bar, if you were being a hateful fuck, I don't want your tip money. Get the fuck out because I'll have 5 more people that are going to walk in that are like me that don't want their drink filled with hate either. You know what I'm saying? So like, I guess it's different. It's different because I had different types of jobs. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I guess it was different for me.
Different options, having that option, being able to say you can get out because somebody else is going to come pay. That's like ideal. That's what we want to be able to do. When you're in a position like that, you want to be able to leave Hallmark and be like, well, I didn't want to work there because I didn't align with their values. Somewhere else. But that somewhere else is like, you're a troublemaker. You're going to make us look bad.
Well, one thing I love about Treat Williams is on Chesapeake Shores. He freely speaks against the president constantly. Like he's on Twitter, like at 60 something years old, like, fuck you, like, fuck the president. Like, and it's like, good for you. And you're still doing your show. But I guess he's also reached that level where he can do that.
Right. Right.
Where younger actors feel maybe they can't do that. I don't know. It irked me. It irked me. Like I love like Hallmark during Christmas and Lifetime during Christmas. It breathes.
A Lifetime. What?
Oh, Lifetime. Okay. Those Hallmark movies, I don't give a. They are so bad that they're so good.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And they're all the same.
Yeah. All of them.
Yeah. Like, they really are. It's just different characters.
Yeah. Like, hi, I watched 3 movies in a row, and they have the same plot.
Yeah, always be like, oh, there's only 5 minutes left. They're gonna kiss soon. Make up and be in love forever.
Yeah.
Well, you know the filthy bitch that I am that I wouldn't even watch Hallmark because they don't even kiss with tongue on Hallmark. Like, yeah, like any
it's like PG all the way. Like,
Yeah.
so like, yeah. Like,
Paige, speaking of like remember Christmas Con that we were gonna go to? So
yeah.
I follow them on
So
Instagram.
do I. Me too.
Okay. Did you see that tickets go on sale for the Edison on June 8th?
I did not see it, but I'm not purchasing tickets to anything until I know what's going on with this pandemic because
That's what Vanessa said. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
don't do
buy
it.
Other than
because a lot of conventions, like so NJ HorrorCon had like, I used to vend at that, but now like I'm not vending anymore. I can't do it. Of course I want to go. I love horror movies. I want to go. They had to postpone their thing until like into, I think it's like into November. Who even knows if that's going to happen?
yeah.
Our area is fucked up. I don't want to purchase anything. 2 weeks
Like-
before the pandemic happened, I almost took the Matchbox 20 tickets, and I was like, "Well, I'm glad I didn't drop $60 on those." Like,
Yeah. Well, because then you have to worry about getting your money back, which like they don't want to fucking do that.
they don't give you your money back. They give you the postponement. Right.
Yeah.
They
2 years I waited for Janet Jackson to have that goddamn baby and come back on tour because they wouldn't give me my money. I had to wait
I
and
love
go.
that you just said the woman, the baby lover of America, just said, I waited for her to have that goddamn baby. Listen, this was me going to Fiona Apple. Fiona Apple, my queen. All hail the queen. Okay. This crazy bitch that I love so much got arrested like a week before she was ready to play at the Wilmot in Mexico for having like a pound of hash in her car. She was like held in a Mexican jail. And I was like, if this fucking bitch does not make it to New Jersey and I do not get to see her, I will
Start a GoFundMe to bail her out.
burn the Wilmot to the ground if she doesn't fucking get there.
Yeah.
You know, we are when we're selfish. I'm already like with this whole pandemic thing, I'm over it. But like we all are.
Yeah, of course.
Again, I know I can't go into crowds. I'm not stupid. I know that. But I'm like, fuck, man. August is like my concert season. Up here, like, up here, it's concert season. Every August, Counting Crows plays at PNC. Last year they didn't because they were like recording an album and Adam Duritz cut off all his dreadlocks. Like, I don't know. He had a nervous breakdown. They didn't play. So this year I was like, yes, Counting Crows in August. And it's like, no Counting Crows in August. There's no concerts.
Yeah.
Like, are we ever going to see live music again, guys?
Listen, I bought tickets to see Johnny Lang in October. I hope it happens.
My fingers are, well, you're in the South, so I feel like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you saw when you're driving around here, they do not give a fuck. Partially because our cases really have been so low. We really have only had the population that has died. Every single one of them is old. So we stayed true to that.
Like, why test fate? Like, why would you not cover up before?
I'm not saying like we should just like, say, well, we don't have coronavirus. Like, I'm not saying that, but I feel like people have that false confidence because of that reason.
They're more complacent because it's not.
And also, since I just came from Jersey, where everything's so crazy, and you have to wait in line to get in some stores.
Yeah,
you have to have your mask on. You got to walk down a certain like aisles in the grocery store or like one way now.
You're trying to avoid people. You're playing like
going through that, and then coming down here. I've only been to one store so far. I went by myself before to Michael's, and I wore my mask, but like
were people looking at you?
5 people. No, but there was maybe like 5 people with masks on. Everybody else was just like, it was a normal day. And there's no, I don't, as far as what I can see, there was nobody like checking how many people can go in the store at once.
Yeah.
Like there's no,
there's none of
really
that.
no rules, it seems like.
Well,
Yeah.
the governor has set in New Jersey that no mask, no store. Like you're not allowed
Yeah.
in. The governor set the president, like it's like
Yeah. Which
go-
is fine. Like, people just need to suck it up. How long are you gonna be in the store for? Half hour
Seriously.
tops? Like,
so well, I have to tell you, I freak out with the fuck. I have to use the bandana. I can't put like the mask that's super tight around my face. I have to use the bandana where I feel like at least like there's some sort of freedom at the bottom of it.
I should make you one.
I get super wickedly bad anxiety. Like it's terrible. I went the other day to get cigarettes at this like little convenience store up the block from me, and I had the bandana on. I already had anxiety when I went out to begin with. Went into this store. There was one person in front of me. I'm 6 feet back with the mask on, and I'm literally like, if this fucking guy doesn't hurry up, I'm going to throw like a dart at him. Like, I need this off my face. It sucks, but I don't want coronavirus. That would suck. Like, my panic attack really sucked, but I don't want fucking coronavirus. So I don't care where I am in the United States. I don't care where I am anywhere. I'm wearing the fucking mask. Look at me, give me dirty looks, say things to me, call me paranoid. I don't care what the fuck you say to me. I'm wearing a mask. Screw that.
Yeah.
The only people that are crazy that wear masks are the ones that are in a car by themselves and they have their gloves and their masks on.
Listen, there are people walking down the streets in Passaic. They have like the masks on as they're walking down the streets, and they're looking at me like I'm crazy because my bandana is down here. But I'm like, we're outside and we're not going to come 6 feet together. Like, what the fuck is that on your face for? Like, how are you not? How's that not bothering you? It's like 80 degrees here right now.
Yeah.
I was telling Vanessa, so there was this the other day I was in the mask. I have a few masks, but this one mask that I've been wearing, I really find it hard to breathe.
Okay.
Through. And like I don't have restricted like anxiety with like it being on me or anything. I just am having a hard time breathing.
Right.
And so I'm in ShopRite. I start sweating because like I'm starting to feel lightheaded because I can't breathe through it. And then so I did like a big shop because I'm not trying to go there often. So I was like, for a while. And then I'm doing the self checkout. You know, I'm putting stuff like down the belt or whatever. And all of a sudden I see there's blood. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized I cut my own hand.
Oh my God.
On what? And I don't do blood either. And so
I'm really having a meltdown, probably.
I was like, I'm gonna pass out. They're gonna take me to the hospital, and that's how I'm gonna get coronavirus. Like, this is what's gonna happen to me. And you know, like I luckily had a Band-Aid in my bag. I'm like wrapping it up, like I'm like literally drenched in sweat, and just like, don't pass out, don't pass out.
Don't pass out.
And I got out of there. I called my brother and I was like, you need to be my chaperone when I go to ShopRite from now on because I can't do this alone.
So I have this callus on my finger from like making candles and soap that like probably is never gonna go away for the rest of my life. And I wash my hands so much that it constantly breaks open. Like Vanessa knows listen, her and I used to go into the city, but I would get on the fucking train in Rutherford. I'm terrified of trains, by the way. Okay. So now I'm already having an anxiety attack. I fucking hate people in public transportation. So I'm like squirting. I'm like, you want some hand sanitizer? So like the thing on my finger is never going to heal because I'm squirting like straight alcohol and fragrance into it. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm paranoid. When I went out before, I like had it double band-aided as I'm going out because I'm like, I don't want to catch coronavirus through the cut on my finger. This is how my brain works. There's no wonder why I am single, people.
I keep telling people, I'm like, I don't care. You can think I'm crazy. You can think I'm crazy. I don't care. I don't want the virus. I don't want to test it out. I don't want to know if I'm immune. I don't want to see if I die or live so I can be that statistic. Yeah. Like, I really don't feel like it's worth the risk.
Yeah.
Totally fine. You know, and those people are like, I'm not like a nut about it. Like, I'm really not. I just follow the rules. Like, if I'm going to a store, I'm going to wear a mask. I have no problem. I mean, I don't enjoy it. It is. I understand why it's in place, and like maybe I am a carrier. I don't want to get anybody else sick. I would be horrible. Like if I got someone else sick, but I wasn't sick. Or
Imagine you got some 80-year-old sick, how fucking terrible you'd feel. Like the ultimate person's like demise is you didn't wear the mask in a store and some 80-year-old dead.
I want to kill someone's grandma.
Yeah, well, that's basic human decency, and we don't have that. Like, there are so many people that don't give a fuck. They really don't care. When I bring that up to them, they just sidestep and talk about something else. I'm like, so what you're saying is you do not care. That's what you're saying.
Well, we are in a selfish situation.
It's such a selfish. Everybody's selfish. Like like the younger generation, it's all about me.
Everything is about them and their feelings, and feelings are important.
And their freedom.
Listen.
Meanwhile, the old people are the ones who were in the fucking war, so that you can still speak English in this country.
Yeah, you were born because they saved your grandma, your father,
right. Like, listen, we like, so I don't.
People are so lucky there hasn't been another draft because they would all be shitting their pants and going to Canada.
So I'm gonna say something terrible right now. You're gonna hear me say something terrible. All 3 of my children have something that would keep them from being drafted. My oldest has ADHD and oppositional behavior disorder. My middle one is 80% blind in one eye, and my middle one has scoliosis. They cannot be drafted. Thank fucking God.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not terrible.
No,
thank God. I know that sounds terrible. I don't know. Go pay for your own fucking oil. Get the fuck, leave my kids alone.
Yeah, but it's true. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves. All these people who are bitching and complaining that their rights are being violated. Cool. Go defend them. See what happens. Right. I'm not.
My grandfather was in the fucking Korean War. Okay, like, you think he wanted to fucking go to Korea? I don't think he did. I really don't think that that's what he wanted to do, but he did it. Right. And he did it
today. He would want to be like, hey, as a veteran who fought for freedom, can you wear your fucking mask?
He would be like, I have emphysema. Can you put your fucking mask on? Probably because I was in Korea. Forgot the 3 packs of cigarettes I smoked today, but probably, like, I'm just saying, like, stop, like, you're just stop being selfish. Like, why? And I know that we didn't raise our kids, like, so I didn't raise my kids to be selfish, but like my older children definitely have that.
They're just around those others that I think it is. You could do the best job that you can.
Is that what it is?
Well, if you see another kid getting away with something, you're going to do it too.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it is. We know this. This is why we get, like,
well, that's why they say, like, mom,
you're hanging out with. Like, you don't want them to hang out with people to get ideas and do whatever. This is what happens. They go and they're like, wow, my mom's really strict. Or my mom taught me that I had to do things for other people, but I don't want to fucking do things for other people. I want to do them for myself, like all these people.
Yeah.
Great.
So Tyler, like, my oldest one, tells me all the time, he's like, you were a fucking lunatic about how strict you are. I was like, because I got knocked up at 18, dude. Okay. Like, don't want that. Like,
my mom was very strict. Like, my parents were strict. Like, if I was like, oh, so-and-so, I come home from school, so-and-so wants me to come over for a sleepover. She's like, who are they? Where do they live? I have
Where
to
do they live?
like, oh my God. Like, that's and then now I'm like, okay. Like,
I get it. Like, they weren't trying to be the FBI. They were like, so my grandfather was always that person, like, don't wear short skirts. Like, don't hang out with this person because they're a bad influence. You look like a harlot with red lipstick. Like, I mean, he was fucking conservative. But my mom didn't give a shit what I did. And then I started to realize, like, my friends were doing crazy shit. They were, like, rebelling and doing, like, crazy shit. Did Scarlett wake up again? Did my big George mouth wake her up?
It could be the dog. It could be the dog.
Or the ghost.
Or the ghost. Yeah, there's a ghost here, definitely.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I was super strict because my mom didn't have rules with me. So I was, like, super strict because I got knocked up at 18, and I just didn't want that for my kids. Like, like, I want you to not repeat my mistake. Maybe
anybody wants that, for everybody, whatever you've learned in your life, you just want to
pass
that down. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't do it the right way. Like, I mean, listen, when I got knocked up, nobody handed me a fucking manual and said, here's how you raise these children.
Yeah.
Nobody gave that
to be a fucking manual, by the way.
Listen, you have
at least the basics. I mean, every kid is different, but at least the basics.
Well, I was saying to Vanessa the other day, I was like, they should force home economics again, like, and it shouldn't just be like for like one semester. It should be like every year you take something different, whether it's cooking,
you learn a bit
or you know, accounting, so you know how to like do a bank book, like
balance a checkbook. So do you remember learning, like I learned like I think my freshman year how to balance a checkbook. And you didn't? Oh, I did. I went to Bergen, Texas.
When I figured it out at the bank when I worked there.
I remember like when I learned that, I was like, whatever. And then like 3 years later, I was like, that was mighty convenient that I know how to do this now.
Yeah.
Now?
Use this?
Oh, I use this dump. Oh, every day.
Listen, I just watched an episode of New Girl where Max Greenfield's character doesn't know how to work the washing machine. It's the most hysterical shit in the world. It's literally like in his apartment. And he pulls out the dryer thing, pours laundry detergent, and puts it in there, and then dumps quarters in where the laundry detergent goes. And it's like, no, but there are really people that don't. And instead of admitting you didn't know how to do it,
it's not taught, you don't know, and you're scared to do it because you're like, I'm gonna fuck this up.
Well, it's like I tell Vanessa all the time. Like my mom didn't raise me to learn how to do shit. I really don't know how to cook. I mean, I can cook if I put my mind to it, but I don't like, oh, let me try, you know, whatever. Right. But like, I learned how to do laundry the day I was dropped off at college, which I shouldn't have.
The hard way, I'm sure.
Like Vanessa has taught me more in life, I think, like when it came to like domestic life than anybody else has. Like, I don't know how to do shit. And my brother's the same way with other stuff. And then also like with guy stuff too, in terms of like building and, you know, like.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
yeah.
You know?
I'm going to be the first to admit as like I am a feminist, but there are certain things that I don't care what sex you are. Like if my fucking boiler breaks, I am not going to Google that shit. Like,
no.
My pants rip.
But you want to be able to hang a fucking picture. You want to be able to.
Right. Like I can do basic shit. Like, you know, like I know how, like if the toilet bowl is running, I know how to fix the toilet bowl. If like something, like I know how to like do a basic snake of a shower, like stupid shit. I know how to, but like if it's something dangerous, I know my role and it is not getting blown up. So I'm like, I'll defer to you, big burly man. Come and fix my fucking boiler, please.
And my mom always had it in my head that like, you know, that I was always afraid to try on my own, you know, like, so it like.
That's a mom thing. I think that's a whole other they're passing their fear down to you. And I've definitely done that. My kids are all neurotic and I know that it's because I'm a fucking neurotic, crazy woman.
Talk about it. Scarlett today sprayed me. We were outside and I hung up this sheet so we could spray it with colored, like, you know, coloring, like dye.
Tie-dyeing.
Yeah. Kind of tie-dyeing it. It was another project, but there was like a whole sheet left over. I thought it would be fun for her. It was until she sprayed me. And like I was wearing one of my favorite t-shirts. It's from college. It's 20 fucking years old.
You're like,
well, I didn't even freak out as much as I figured I would, but I was like, stop. Like I just like yelled, stop.
Immediate. Yeah.
She didn't stop. So I had to tell her to stop another couple times. And then she just melted the fuck down. And she wasn't melting down because I yelled at her. She was melting down because she wasn't doing it right.
Oh my God, your child, if they're ever.
Yeah. She was like, I just can't do it. I don't want to do it because I can't do it. And I was like, oh, fuck. How do
Xander gets like that too. Xander gets like that if he doesn't know, because he's like used to being good at things. So if he doesn't know how to do something, it's like complete epic, like face on the floor, like wah! And he's 10. And I'm like, bro, you got like.
I am like that, but I was like that when I was a kid. I was afraid to get like anything but A's and B's. My parents weren't like that. But
no, I know
something about me that made me so anxious that like if I got a B, I cried and was like, I'm so sorry. And they were like, I don't give a fuck. Like, did you do the best that you could? And I was like, yes. Okay, then we're not mad. Like, we're mad if you don't try. But I was like, you know.
That was my whole thing with school always. Like, I'm not going to get mad at you if you fail something. I'm going to get mad, like, because you don't understand it. If you don't understand it, like, then you don't understand it. And that's why you failed. So we're going to teach you in a way that you understand. When I get mad is when you don't fucking try. Like, if you don't even try, that's when I get upset. Like, if you got a C because you didn't try, I'm kind of like, really, dude? Like, you know, you could have aced that. Like, but it's hard to like be that way as a parent. You don't want to like get them neurotic. So like
Yeah.
I have to be careful with everything I
Yeah.
say. I don't know. I'm a lunatic. I don't know.
So am I, and clearly I've passed that along. And
Yeah,
now I'm like,
I
well, now what do I
passed
do? Do I just like, do we just go fuck up a bunch of shit on purpose? Like, so that we can be like cool with it?
I don't remember what show it was, but there was like a show like this person who like wasn't capable of like being angry or like melting down or breaking down. They took them to this like place where you could just go and break shit. You could just let all your frustrations out. Like you have bats and you can like knock down walls and like break shit. And I was like, I think I need that place maybe because
She just told me that the other day. She was like, that'd be cool.
right? Just fucking take a bat to things and like just break things because you're angry at everything in life. Like I feel like I might need that. I'd pay $100 to go somewhere and break everything in my path. Anyway, all right. So I feel like we've been ranting for a really long time. This is our longest broadcast like ever.
Yeah, we have. But it was good stuff. Like I feel like it was all
I mean, like again, like I said, if people have suggestions, throw them our way. Like we're all trying to navigate through this together.
Yeah.
It's not about
peace, dude. I just want like people to feel, and I know it's not possible to have complete peace. I know that because there are people who are like wired differently. There are people whose brain chemistry, like I get that because I'm a therapist. I do get that there's going to be some bad in the world that's like biologically based, but I just really want the stuff that's not, the stuff that's like poor programming and like, you know, experiences that are now forming a stereotype. I want to figure out how to make that go away.
Well, I think that it starts with, I really hate to put this on the teachers of this world because they have enough of a heavy load on their back. But I feel like if the parents aren't going to teach children at home, then in school, we need to start teaching proper history lessons because it is not proper.
Oh, God, no.
Like, listen, if we still take off for Columbus Day, we're not there.
Yeah.
Do you understand that certain like we're still off for Columbus Day in America? That's fucking disgusting. Okay. Like we're celebrating a man that committed genocide. I just don't understand. So like it needs to, like, I feel like in school, they need to start being taught like as part of a curriculum. And I hate to put, like I said, I hate to put that on teachers. And if you don't want your children to be a part of that, then go pay for them to be somewhere else. I don't know what to say, but like in public schools, do we start there? Like,
yeah, I do think that would be helpful. I know that growing up, I learned about slavery, but it was very short in comparison to, hey, we are descendants of pilgrims. Let's talk about that. Like,
so I went
through my history.
Listen, I went to Catholic school. I feel like I went to idiot school for the first like 7 grades of my life. Like I really do. Like I feel, I mean, I
much of rules when it came to Catholic education.
It was, I mean, like I knew like basic math. I knew basic math and I knew how to write cursive and I like knew certain things, but I was not taught proper history lessons and I was taught morality in the wrong way. But I got my morality from other places. So thankfully that wasn't my only education. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I do feel like I always say like Catholic school, like I really feel like I call myself, like I had a shirt in like the late 90s that said Catholic school survivor. Everyone's like, that's so awful. And it's like, no, like I really feel like I fucking survived that shit. Like I came out, like somehow I came out of the other side of that, not being a fucking crazy person. I don't know how. Yeah. Like not being like a bigoted person. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we weren't taught. It's like self-education, but we can't depend on self-education for kids now. So where do we start?
I think like it would be really helpful if like, you know, something like, you know, taking a field trip to some place that's meaningful or like having part of school be volunteering, showing people like
that should definitely be it.
People, you know what I mean? Like
violence shelters, like
really instilling humanity because that's what's missing is people aren't seeing humans as humans. People and kids aren't being raised to see people as humans. They're raised to like self-preserve, you know, and part of that is like out of fear, like you can't trust people because you can't. But like, so what does that do? It makes you put up your little wall, live in your own little world. And if we can break that and just allow people to feel for other people, build empathy, I feel like that would help too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the kids now are not very empathetic. They're not. And they're the ones who should be the most empathetic. They're the ones who are living through times where there's school shootings and there's like, I mean, crazy bullying going on. Like they're the ones who need the empathy. But how do you teach that if the parents aren't teaching them at home is what my question is, you know?
Right. And so that's what I'm thinking. Like if like, I mean, home ec is good because you're gonna
Yep,
you're
I love that.
you're gonna teach
Yeah.
people to like do the things that they need to learn how to do, like the basic skills. So you're gonna take away their fear of what they're gonna do with their lives, like how they're gonna
Right.
live, so that they can focus on other shit. Like half the kids out there, like half the 20-year-olds out there are like too busy trying to figure out what the fuck the world is.
Dude,
They're not focused on volunteering. They're not focused on like being parts of like the civil rights stuff because they don't have the time.
I'll be honest with you, like, okay, so that is one thing, like, I am so glad with, like, my kids that they did get that from me, like, so they're jerks to me, but in life, they're not jerks and they're not ignorant because I taught them not to be. Like, they might be jerks to me, they might, like, listen, the battle of my life is getting my kids to do chores. Like, it is literally like, I don't understand. Like, I do not understand because everybody that I know growing up, when you got home from school, you had X, Y, and Z to do, correct or incorrect, right? You had like these things to do, then you did your homework, and then you could fuck around.
Yeah.
My 21-year-old does not pay rent, is not working, has his hand out for money and doesn't want to do a sink of dishes, but he does understand civil rights, gay rights. Like he understands like empathy, but he doesn't understand the privilege he has of like, no, like you have to do the fucking dishes. Like you can't just look there for free and not do chores. Like I don't. Again, wasn't given a manual. I don't know.
Well, and again, they go out into the world and they see what other people are doing and they pick what, like, well, I want to do that because that looks easier or better or whatever.
I think
I'm gonna do that.
Well, I think with my kids, what went wrong with my older kids was we lived in Montclair for 7 years, and like a lot of the kids were living in multi-million-dollar mansions and had like maids fucking doing their chores. So they were like, "This is fucking bullshit. I have to come home and load the dishwasher." It's like load the dishwasher, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like really?
Unless you got money for the maid who's gonna come here and do that shit. Bye. Yeah.
Anyway. All right.
Yeah.
We're all over the place as usual. I'm glad we did this tonight. I was in a better frame of mind than I was. Yesterday I was too crazy, I think, to be on camera. Somebody would have shot a Trent gun through my fucking camera on the computer. That was my level yesterday. I'm glad.
I was like super tired, but then when we got going, I was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I was like, I was feeding too. Now my back is starting to hurt, and I'm like, I'm out of a drink. I think we've been on, and then I looked. I'm like, holy fuck, we've been on an hour and a half. We've been going. So
we're raging.
We're raging.
We're gonna go watch Sierra Burgess as a loser.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go find that David's. I'm gonna go crack open. Yeah.
And let us know what you think.
Movie. I'm gonna crack open another seltzer, like the basic white bitch that I am, 90-calorie fucking seltzer. Mm-hmm. Because this pandemic made me gain. I fucking stepped on a scale, guys. I gained 15 pounds. 15 pounds. I am 5'3". I can guess. You can take a guess where it all went. My ass is the size of fucking Asia. My fucking gut is coming. We have to remember when the pandemic is over, I do have to get in front of like a camera soon. So like I can't be this fat. So I'm drinking 90-calorie seltzers right now.
Damn. But yeah, definitely tell us how it is.
Yeah.
But she's never seen Sierra Burgess as a loser, so we're gonna watch that.
I've never seen that either.
Oh my geez.
I'll let you know how it is.
Is it on Netflix?
It was on Netflix. I really hope it still is because
I think it is.
Yeah.
Look on Hulu. Now I feel like I have everything. I can look things up. Yeah. All right.
It's in the same vein as like all the boys I loved before. Like it's actually got the same lead guy. Or one of the lead guys.
Oh my god, the guy, the one that plays the Polish kid. That's so cute.
Which guy?
From
Is
All
he
the Guys I
old?
Loved Before. Yeah, his last name is Kaczynski or something like that. No, that's Monsters Inc. But like, yeah, they even
Oh, you mean his name on the show?
yeah,
Yeah.
plays the Polish
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's
which
adorable.
is funny because I said to her, I was like, I really hope he's like at least in his 20s because I feel
Yeah,
like
so
he's hot,
cool.
but I don't want him to be a kid.
No, we're dirty bitches. He's like 23 years old. We are dirty, dirty bitches. He is so cute.
Well, he's playing like a 16-year-old, so I'm really glad he's not that.
Listen, I went down the Vampire's Diary, like Vampire's Diary originals, and now I'm watching Legacies. There are kids on Legacies that are playing 16-year-olds that are like 25 in real life that are smoking fucking hot, and I'm like, stop it. You're getting gray pubic hair. Cut the shit.
Have you ever watched Outlander?
I watch Outlander. Sam Heughan is the hottest motherfucker.
Yes, he is.
I cannot look at anything else on that show except for how beautiful that man is. Like, wear that kilt all day long.
Yeah, so we gotta watch it. We'll watch it.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it.
Oh my God. He's like literally like you're like, I mean, he's like it's painful. He's
a perfect person.
so hot.
That's his hotness. He's like a perfect person.
He is the nicest guy, and he has his own like fucking Scotch whiskey like brand and
He's
like
fictional. Figures. He can't be like a real dude.
So he actually is in California. He's like stuck here apparently. Like here and he's like stuck here. He's stuck in America right now, and maybe we can like drive cross country and go like.
This poor guy. He's probably like, fuck.
Well, because he was like,
gotta get out of here.
I was watching something and he was like, well, I felt it safer than taking like this plane with this connection. So this
so he would have had to fly planes from England to another place, then from another place to Scotland. It was like too crazy. So I saw him tweeting about that, and I was like, oh, so your ass is stuck in California? Road trip. It's like when Vanessa and I were intent on finding Jon Snow in New York that time, and it didn't work out, and we had like the most epic meltdown of you know, we got so drunk that day in the city that I don't know how we got back on the bus.
Yeah, that's true. But isn't that the day we met Matt LeBlanc?
We met Matt LeBlanc.
Like sulking. Yeah, we were sulking because we were like, Jon Snow.
Have you seen Jon Snow?
Yeah. He like came out of the bathroom and he's like, hey, we're like, how are you doing?
He was so nice. Like,
hello.
We probably kicked puppies like sitting on the bench waiting for Jon Snow, and he was like, hi ladies, and he smiled, and it was like, ding! Like it was like a Trident commercial.
And neither one of us thought to be like, how you doing? Because we were both just like,
right? Like,
can you go find Kit Harington?
Right? Can you go find us Kit Harington? Is he still in America? God, we need to never. Listen, how uncomfortable we made Gavin DeGraw the 6 times we met him. We need to never do that to get out. He loved it. He loved us.
Yeah, we did that.
No, he probably hated our guts, but
no.
At least
he's not a hateful man.
No, he's a good guy. He knows that it's people like you that keep him in business.
Absolutely.
For real. Like, because you know what? In 10 years, Vanessa and I are still going to go to some little fucking shithole to see him.
You bet your sweet ass.
Like if you go to a New Kids concert.
Right.
All people are.
Right. Totally. It's true.
We'll be like, I'll pay for the venue and find you a sound guy. Come play for us.
Yeah, seriously. Hi, I have a big backyard. Would you like to come play in it? We'll even find you people to listen. Just come here.
We don't like to take no for an answer, sir. All right. Anyway, let's sign off, ladies. I've got to pee and I need a drink.
Okay.
So on that note, everybody, be safe out there. If you're protesting, please wear masks. Stay safe.
Yeah. And
we're thinking about you. We're sending, like, I wish I could be out there with you guys in the fucking mix of it, but I cannot.
And we're really, you know, I really think it's important, again, to try to think around this so that we can, you know, sneakily get our agenda past the people who will not fucking listen.
I like your agenda, but I don't like the comparison. But I like your agenda.
No, I just think I think that that's going to be what we have to do. Our method has to change if we want to get what we want. It's just not working. I don't think
yelling on Instagram isn't working.
Hey, listen, it's not working for
not working for anybody.
So
it's not working for anybody.
It's more about action than Words.
Exactly. We've got to do stuff like
Yeah, no.
now.
And
I
yeah,
know.
like I said, like our inbox is open. Fucking message us
Yep.
to tell us how to be like your allies and how to be like the advocates that you want.
Yep.
Because we're open to it.
Hell yeah, we are.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, ladies. Love you.
Bye.
Have fun. I'm going to watch David Spade. I'm going to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
All right. Sweet deal.
Bye.
Bye.